Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video, I go through what is new in Alpha 3.9. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you all so much for the support. If you do enjoy my content and would like to help make it even better, be sure to follow the links in the description below. So it's finally dropped. Alpha 3.9 is now on the live servers, open to everybody. But what is there new to take a look at? So firstly, long-term persistence is activated. This means that there was intended to be no wipe between 3.8.2 and 3.9. So you should still have all of your UEC that you'd earned from the previous patch, your weapons, your items, or any ships that you purchased in-game. However, it does sound like it's not plain sailing for everyone, as some people are experiencing their accounts reverting back to their starting UEC. Not only that, but it could be that you've logged in for the first time, everything seems fine, then the second time you log in, that's when they see that their UEC has gone again. Now, I have linked an issue council post. If you are having these issues, be sure to upvote this, or at least search for the one that's more specific to you. Obviously, this is quite a big deal, and I'm sure CIG are aware of it and will be looking into creating a fix for it, but it might be too late for some people, unfortunately. But with that aside, let us take a look at what is new. So there is new Microtech clothing collection. New clothing like suits, coats, trousers, headwear, shoes, and so on. Mostly located around Apparelis in the New Babbage business area. Also applied to all the clothing in the verse are temperature ratings. Each item has a temperature range from minus whatever to plus whatever to help you gather what equipment you might need while exploring around the verse. Talking of New Babbage, its interiors for the landing zone are now complete. It is by far the best looking landing zone in my opinion. This comprises of the Aspire Grand Habitation, the Interstellar Spaceport, the Comms Rec area, which is home to many food takeaway places, the Plaza, where you can find shops like Centermath, the admin office, and a refinery and commodity kiosk, Shuban for all your mining needs, and Microtech's flagship store, which is currently closed, but should open up one day. And on the other side is the Commons, where you have the Promenade, which has all the clothing, some eateries, and Wally's Bar. Also new to 3.9 is Klesh's automated prisons. So if you get killed within a particular radius or proximity to either a player bounty hunter, an NPC agent or bounty hunter, and you have a crime stat, then you will be taken to prison with a sentence relative to your crime stat. So a level 5, I believe last we heard it was 18 hours you have to stay in prison for. You don't have access to your inventory. You only have what you find in the prison. You can get a mining tool and mine your way out by reducing your sentence. Or you could try to escape, but do be careful, as it is pretty daunting. I haven't tried it myself, and I don't think I will. We have 3 new moons to explore and take a look around, all situated around the planet Microtech. These are Clio, Euterpe, and Calliope. All 3 are unique and interesting, and also offer some potential for new mining spots. I will have to go and check them out in my prospector. They also have added caves to Microtech and all of its moons, bringing, I think, the total number of caves in the verse at the moment to about 35. So they're always interesting to go and take a look at. For new gameplay, we have the new hijacked Caterpillar mission, in which you must free 3 prisoners, taking out the security on board. I am yet to actually do this mission myself, as it is not that easy. I think you're going to need to take some friends with you, and the payout should make that shareable. I think it's about 35 grand, so it's totally worth attempting together. They've added mining laser sub-items, which can attach to the mining head laser itself. One day, I'm pretty sure we will likely be able to swap these out as and when we please once we get physical components in. But each sub-item alters the mining laser in some way to help aid you in the process. I won't go into detail on them just now. We will probably do a separate video, so do keep an eye out for that if that interests you. Volatile mineable ore was added called Quantanium. This ore is very valuable, but it has a limited lifespan, and if you don't get the stuff sold to a refinery quickly or before the timer runs out, your saddlebag, it'll blow your prospector saddlebags off. You can jettison it. Apparently, I wasn't able to find it. I think it's left control or left alt and T. That should allow you to drop your contents rather than blowing the saddlebags off, so you can mine another day. They've added 2 new surface harvestables. I am yet to discover what these are, so if you do know, be sure to drop it in the comments below. Also, we have the new hand weapon attachment swapping. This is one of my favourite features of 3.9, the ability to swap your sight, your scopes, your barrel attachments on the fly in-game without needing to go to your Moby Glass is wonderful. It looks great as well. You can access this either by holding down the interact key, which is F, and mousing over the weapon to customize at the bottom, or you can just simply press the J button and then you can click on the area that you want to customize. It'll only include items that you have bought and own, so do bear that in mind. One of the big fundamental changes to the game is this new actor status system. This means over time your character will become thirsty and hungry and require you to buy food and drink and monitor these levels. So as it stands today, it would take you about 7 hours to die from thirst and 10 hours to die, real hours, to die from hunger if you had just stood still, which I think is quite reasonable. Obviously, the more activities you do, or running around, sprinting and that sort of stuff, it'll deplete quicker. Every environment now has a temperature associated with them as well, like the areas of Microtech, for example, being extremely cold, whereas other areas of Microtech might be around 10 to 15 Celsius. And obviously the wind will actually take effect here and replace a wind chill on it. But then you get somewhere like Aberdeen and it's extremely hot. These variations need to be monitored as you will have limited time to spend planetside. Do check in the bottom left hand corner to see what your environmental temp is and your core temperature and the estimated lifespan. So make sure you're buying the right clothes for the environment if you plan to remain planetside for a longer period of time. The InGame Friends list now uses your Spectrum list. It has been integrated and it has been entirely reworked. The main menu screen has a Friends and Notification tab, which you can toggle on and off. The whole system lets you party up more easily and logically, unifying both the Spectrum and in-game, allowing you to talk to each other regardless of whether you're in-game or not. So very happy to see this. It will make life so much easier. I think they're still having some teething problems with the initial release of 3.9, but I'm sure they will get to them eventually. The personal inner thought radial menu is new as well. And this allows you to interact with your inventory and the world around you quickly without needing to remember all the key bindings. Things like emotes, taking your helmet off and on, selecting weapons, and the food that you have on your person. It is a very useful system and it varies based on what you're doing. It'll be different if you're sat in a cockpit seat or if you are walking around. It is very useful. Now, some other things that they have implemented. The accumulation of the environment on your suit is new. As you wander around in a snowstorm or the extreme cold or even around on a dusty moon, your armor will begin to change, getting covered in the snow or the dust. It looks incredible and I love it. Your character will react to wind as well. As you wander around the planet and the wind builds up, your character will lean into the wind, which is dependable on the direction and speed of where that wind is coming from. Also, a nice little detail is that if you are not wearing a helmet, you will put your hand up to shield your face. But as soon as you put that helmet on, the hand will go down. It's these sort of tiny details that really set Star Citizen above the rest. Now, they've also updated geological aspects of various planetary bodies with new visuals and assets. They have added a size 1 gimbal to certain shops, which is great news. They've added the kiosk screens around locations to have their own UI design. I would also expect that these are now using the new building blocks tech that is being rolled out. I'm not 100% certain, but it makes sense that they are now. They've updated the ship AI behavior to include greater speed ranges and improved avoidance. They've doubled the payout for criminal missions. They've re-added the derelict ships for uses in missions. Currently, I've only found the cargo recovery missions to have these new wrecks, but I would like to see soon the missing person investigations or black box recovery missions being turned back on again. Fingers crossed for 3.9. They've added an impound ship infraction to cut down on the pad rammers, and 2 new weapons from Xperia, the deadbolt cannons and the light strike cannons. Now, finally, talking of Xperia, the final awesomeness that has been added to Alpha 3.9 was the Xperia Treveran Prowler. This is the first Treveran ship that we have in game, definitely not going to be the last. It is a stealth dropship capable of deploying 16 troops into action. It looks incredible, it feels silky smooth, it smells a bit disgusting, but not only that, we have an LTI Prowler game package to give away courtesy of Cloud Imperium, so big thank you to sponsoring that. Details on this giveaway will be coming to my channel soon, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. Now, alongside all of these new features are a lot of bug fixes as well. CIG have really spent a long time fixing as much as possible. Not just 3.9 related issues, but many from older patches as well. But with that said, it is not perfect. I have experienced a couple of issues myself. One in particular is getting stuck in the pilot seat of the Prospector, which forces me to then have to respawn, losing everything that I have just mined. Now also, I have heard for many people that desync is improved, and other people saying that desync is still bad. Personally, people seem a lot more responsive when I am looking at them and interacting with them. They all seem to react as they should do, but that is just my experience. Overall though, 3.9 is a vast improvement over 3.8.2, but not with its own teething problems, which I am sure will get fixed over time, hopefully within maybe a 3.9.1 patch, if there is time to do that. But on that note, make sure you let me know in the comments your thoughts on Alpha 3.9. What issues are you finding? Is it plain sailing for you? Are you having a good time, a bad time? Drop it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button as well for more Star Citizen content, and tick the notification bell so you know when my videos go live. Big thank you to my patrons and channel members. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.